Can't trust him.
That's right.
Can't trust him. All right, that was our lead-in song because
right.
we didn't have any music today.
We didn't have music today.
And we were saying instead of...
Can't touch this.
What the heck is this?
They're laughing at you.
Can't touch this to can't trust them.
That's right.
And that is why we believe that today at 1:18 Eastern Standard Time, 2:18 in Oklahoma. Nope. Other way around. I never do that right.
No,
2:18 Eastern Standard Time, 1:18 in Oklahoma. You got a message from your president. That's right. He's still your president,
That's right.
Snowflakes.
That's right. Snowflakes, that's exactly right.
Wasn't that exciting?
That was exciting.
And you know what? People are asking why. So can we talk about
sure.
why
Let's
you
talk
think that's
about it.
needed? And a lot of the answer has to do with our lead-in song.
That's right.
That's because the media,
can't trust them.
As you're well aware,
just
are
can't trust them.
Untrustworthy. We cannot trust them. So when he has something important to disseminate to us, he can't trust them. And we also know, if we're paying attention to Q, you can't trust Twitter, you can't trust Facebook, and you can't trust Google.
No.
So he had to find another way, and that way was already set up under the Obama administration.
Thank you, Obama.
One thing you did right was the FEMA emergency broadcast system, and we got that test today. So that was pretty cool.
The wireless broadcast.
Wireless, yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny because, you know, you see everybody going, did you get that? Did you get it? Did
Talking
you get
about it everywhere.
You know? Well, I was on Facebook, you know, surprise, surprise. And we have a little snowflake report here.
Oh, snowflake report.
That's right. It says, my phone was assaulted by the Orange Menace. I feel violated. If it's just a test of the emergency broadcast system, I get that. But to make a presidential alert in MySpace? He's raping us through technology.
Oh my gosh. Raping us?
Yeah, right, you know.
And besides that, what's she still doing on MySpace?
I know. Well, she's the only one. But you know what? President Trump cared enough that he did send her a message, even though she still is on MySpace.
He's still her president.
In her space.
Yeah, in her space.
That's right.
So
I'm excited. I was excited when it went off. In fact, I was at the office and I went, woohoo! My president! He sent me a text message.
Yes, he did. It was very exciting.
It was very exciting.
It was a little anticlimactic.
Well, they only allowed 90 characters, is my understanding right now. But I think by next year I saw where they're going to allow up to about 300 or 350 characters.
Okay.
So, you know, he might be reading us bedtime stories at night or...
Green eggs and ham?
That's right. You know, I'm all about green eggs and ham.
So it said today, no action is needed or no action necessary. But does that give you a little clue of some foreshadowing?
I think that we're being prepared.
I think we are being prepared.
I think we're being prepared, and I don't know that under any other president that we would be prepared in the event that something went down, because there has been no way of being able to, outside of the FCC, being able to tell people about, you know, emergencies or anything that might be happening. And of course, this became popular back in the 60s when we were going through the Cold War. Yeah. You know, and you had worried about, I remember the drills. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, it's very exciting. Yes. If it was Obama that did it, we probably wouldn't be as excited about it.
No, but that's because Obama worked to ruin our nation and the world, and Trump is working to save it.
That's true. No, that's exactly right. But still, you can't necessarily say that it's good for one, but not for the other.
It's true.
But
it's true. But I did not have any problem with it today. I'm a little bit, you know, like you said, we don't know. We don't want to speculate on what it might mean when he says no action is necessary. But someday there might be action necessary, and that action just might be take cover, stay inside for the next few hours. Maybe it's going to tell you that. I mean, speculation has been all over the board. If you've been watching any kind of boards or any kind of chat or
like Q.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, people who talk about Q has not given me any chatter that says anything like martial law or anything like that. But the people that are chattering about it in Q boards are definitely talking about martial law, and even the Fed going under and central banking being taken down and all this other stuff. And I think that that's part of why, you know, Trump has to prepare us. The president wants to prepare us so that we do not panic in case something like that does occur. So that's good.
Well, we're in good hands.
Oh, thanks so fun.
That ought to piss a few people off.
Speaking of being in good hands, I went to a movie last night, Rhonda.
I saw that, and
that?
actually it made me look it up in Tulsa because
Good.
I didn't know anything about it. Tell me about it.
Sure. So it's called The Trump Prophecy, and you can see it there on the screen. There's 2 showings. Found out about it last minute, or I would have blasted about it for others to go. Found out about last minute from my husband. He just saw it on a scroll. I called my parents. They ended up coming with us. So it was last night at 7 p.m., and it's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So it's 2 showings. For us, it's in Oklahoma City and Norman. I'm sure you found somewhere in Tulsa.
Yeah, there's and I don't remember which theater, but yes, it is being shown in Tulsa tomorrow night also.
So you can go to that website there that Frosty put up for you, the Trump Prophecy Movie, I think, .com. Find out where it is in your area. It's at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night's the last showing that I'm aware of. I thought it was really good. I don't know
if you give us a little preview?
Well, sure, I'll talk a little
bit. No spoilers or anything.
Yeah. Okay,
but...
so here's the thing. I don't know if you've watched anything about Trump being president that was prophesied many years before.
Yes, I've
by
heard about that.
By an unassuming, really neat, humble guy who was a firefighter.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't something that some pastor was just, downloaded from God and blah, and he had to speak it from, or at the organ or whatever. It literally came to him in a series of events, and I won't spoil that for you because that's part of his story. But that in 2011, that Trump would be president. You're hearing the voice of a president is what he was told when he heard president on the TV. And that was 2011. And so when 2012 came and went, this gentleman, Mark Taylor, this firefighter from Florida, was very disappointed because 2012 came and went, and guess who didn't run for president?
Yeah, well, I was very disappointed.
Well, we
in
all
2012
were.
Also.
True, but Trump didn't run. Is my point. So it was a vision and a prophecy from many years before, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it because it was really awesome. Maybe after you see it, we'll talk about it, and we hope you all get to go see the Trump Prophecy movie.
I'm not going to be able to see it.
Oh, that's right, we're busy.
We're going to dinner tomorrow night, and we're going to the OCPA Liberty Gala.
I'm not disappointed, but I'm disappointed you can't see it.
But we get to hear Dinesh D'Souza. Well, I'm sure it'll be out real quick on DVD, on DVD or whatever. So. And I do plan on watching it. I hope it does come out before the elections because I think that would be a great thing to see.
Yeah. So Dinesh D'Souza's tomorrow night.
He is. I'm excited.
Does he have a new film in work?
I don't know. He's probably here still promoting. The last one,
yeah.
And so which is Death of a Nation.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got to see that, it's a really wonderful movie, and it compares the Trump presidency with Lincoln's presidency and some of the correlation. I mean, nobody's claiming that Trump is Lincoln, but you know what? No, they didn't really like Lincoln when Lincoln was president.
No.
So it may take him, I know if he died, a lot of people would like it, but it might take him after, a number of years being able to be appreciated for the work that he's done.
Right.
But I'm telling you, you made a post today that showed some of the things that they're looking forward to and possibly, even lower unemployment, even, a higher...
It's a miracle.
Even a higher GDP,
Yeah, they're anticipating that. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look, people can complain and whine and cry all they want, but I am tickled pink with our president.
And really, the thing is, Rhonda, when they're against Trump like this, it's actually now to the point where you're self-sabotaging. Seriously. So if you don't want unemployment to stay low, and you don't want the GDP to go up to 5% where it was expected, if you don't want manufacturing jobs coming back to the United States, which was his magic wand,
right?
As Obama made some silly,
what's he going to use? His magic wand.
The market continuously reaches unprecedented records. We have not gone back down.
No.
Just keeps skyrocketing.
Not even hiccuping.
No. So unemployment's wage growth is at historic highs. I'm telling you, if you are not for this president, you are self-sabotaging. You're self-sabotaging your retirement plan. You're self-sabotaging your monthly income. You're self-sabotaging your own health because all you're doing is stirring up bitterness inside your bones. Trump is the answer. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God for the miracle of Donald Trump. This week, we're seeing every passing day is more and more delicious. The Kavanaugh story is
just, I love that word.
It's more and more delicious.
I want a seat at the table.
Woo, baby, listen. That Kavanaugh story is falling apart at the seams.
Good.
As every
it deserves to.
We were in D.C. last week.
Yes,
Ron and I were up there, and we saw, we were rallying.
Do you have problems with pain, anxiety, or sleeplessness?
Do you?
I hit a button, I'm sorry.
I was trying to move the cursor and everything went
we just want to know, do you have problems
Yes, I
with
do, actually.
sleeplessness or pain or
CBD
anxiety?
oil.
Yeah.
So we went to a rally on Wednesday last week that was for Jim Jordan and for Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Which was really cool. And we brought home some little trinkets.
We sure did.
Confirm Kavanaugh now. Let's drain the swamp. Jordan for speaker. It was pretty cool. And so we went around and saw our congresspersons, our congressmen in Oklahoma. Right. And also our senator that morning. We had Java with James. I know Java with Joe.
No, Java with James.
That was pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun. And he really took the time to explain the process, the difference between a judiciary investigation and an FBI investigation.
Right.
And so when they're asking for an FBI investigation, they were actually getting even less of an investigation than the FBI does.
Which, by the way, I'm seeing that that investigation report's supposed to wrap up today. Within the next hour or two, it's supposed to wrap up. But we're not going to see it because Dianne Feinstein threw a big stink and said that the people don't need to see that. It's private. So, but I guarantee you, we pretty much are certain by Friday we will have a new justice.
After the way the people behaved in those hearings, we don't deserve to know what's in the FBI findings.
Yeah, and all those.
I think they've got something to hide myself.
Well, and all those pink hat wearing women, they weren't wearing them inside the hearing, but all those women that came in there, that's how they behaved. They had tickets from senators on the Democrat side. Right. They didn't just get in there because they showed up and stood in line.
Because Alyssa Milano, she got her ticket from Feinstein.
That's right.
That's what I saw.
Absolutely. So that case is falling apart. Dr. Ford, if you read Q, today Q posts that Dr. Ford is a CIA asset, and her story has fallen apart. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh!
Yes. Well, but does it surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me.
You know, I'm gonna kind of lead into while we were in D.C.
Yeah.
When when Lindsey Graham grew a set and took on the Dems and just ripped them a new one.
It was great.
And we were very excited about that. That was, remember we were in the house in D.C. and we were all sitting around the television. We were watching it, and when he was doing that, when he finished, we stood up and we cheered and we clapped and we were so excited. It was just, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
And I never in my life did I ever dream that I would be singing the praises of Lindsey Graham. But or Chuck Grassley, but good job, guys. You're doing a great job. So that evening, after we had hung out for a few hours with my favorite congressman,
the NASA administrator,
the now NASA administrator.
Well, wait, tell him first. We went to the White House, we went to the Capitol, and then we hung out at the NASA office.
That's
right. By the way, if you want to go to D.C. and have some fun, you got to take this girl, because let me tell you what Thomas Massey said. He said, "You want a ticket into my office? It's right there."
We had a good time. We had a lot of fun. I tell you, it's like you ask about what's the highlight. Well,
there's a million.
There were a million highlights. So Brooke and I, and we've got a little video on this. Brooke, we see on the television that evening that Lindsey Graham is going to be on Fox next. Well, we know that Fox is only about a half a mile away from where we're staying. So Brooke looks over and says, "You want to go?" And I'm like, "Sure, let's do it." So we hop in a cab. We go down to the Fox station, and of course we're not going to go in the building because they're not going to really let us do anything.
We can't get past the front door, really.
So we kind of lurked outside a little bit, and when we saw him coming, Brooke took off after him, and I've got my video. I've got my phone going. Do you have that on?
No, we don't have
you
that.
don't have it. Okay.
Well, we couldn't get that to load. That was
I got you. Okay.
But let me tell you something. It was so much fun to Grambush Lindsey.
Grambush.
But we told him this. We told him how important it was that his message got out that day, how he behaved really awesomely during the hearings very beginning,
and how much we appreciated it.
And how much we were praying for him. And what he said was, "Please keep praying.
Yeah,
keep praying. We need it. We've got to get this guy through." And so that was Thursday night. By Friday, they went ahead and passed him out of committee. And of course, we all know about that
flaking.
That little rigmarole that took place with Jeff Flake, which, I'm still on the fence about that. Flake, if you watch how it took place, and I've tried to rewatch the video a couple times, if you watch how it actually took place, Flake and the Democrats came in together and the Democrats were still milling around, and they weren't able to they didn't sit down quite as quickly. They're practically taking a roll before the Democrats even knew. Like, it was like very quick.
Right.
And like, it's almost like Flake is playing both sides.
Right.
And he's the only one that can do that because he's not running for re-election.
I know, but I just
I know you don't trust him, and I don't either. He is a flake. But I think he's definitely going to, I mean, look, we know that Kavanaugh, we know Q tells us that Kavanaugh is going to get confirmed. So that tells me Jeff Flake's voting for him.
Well, good. I mean,
right?
He should, because honest to goodness, I don't think that you can find anything against the man that is worth withholding the seat from him. I don't. And I think that this has done a lot to expose the Democrats and what their agenda is. And they don't have the best the well-being of of U.S. citizens. They don't take that to heart. It's all about them. It's all about protecting aborting children, and it's all about trying to flip the House and the Senate, which is why it's so important right now that that people get out and get involved. That you get involved in campaigns, and that you make sure that you get out and vote, and you encourage others to do the same. If you think for 1 minute that they are not out there in droves getting people registered to vote, and then they're going to hound the hell out of their people until they go. So if that's what we have to do, then that's what we need to do as well.
Why would we want to let the deep state continue on with the way we've been going? Listen, 5 or maybe 6, I counted them, attacks yesterday by the deep state. Ryson was being sent to... Do you need that?
Well.
Ryson was sent to the Pentagon to 2 people. First of all, do you know who General Mattis is? You must be an idiot if you're going to send Ryson to General Mattis, Secretary of Defense, Marine Corps General. Also, a Navy Admiral at the Pentagon also was in... Hang on, it's my daughter. Okay, get your daughter. Ted Cruz campaign.
It's okay. She hung up.
She didn't. The Ted Cruz campaign down in Texas and Austin, they also received one.
Yes.
McConnell was targeted, and so was President Trump. Now, the Secret Service intercepted all of that. I don't know about down at the campaign headquarters because that's a little harder. They don't have Secret Service at the headquarters for campaigning. But also, a representative from Maryland, which really the most surprising thing about this is that there is a Republican from Maryland, but Andy Harris was attacked inside his Capitol office by protesters. They are unhinged.
They are.
They are unhinged. So if you think that letting the Democrats and the deep state continue on, they want war. They said on a tweet that they're going to come after Chloe Trump, which is Donald Trump Jr.'s daughter. They're targeting her. I mean, they are pushing this powder keg, Rhonda.
They really are.
To the edge.
And the shame of it is, I mean, we see it even at the local level.
I know.
When
we sure did.
When we start when we start talking about the Tulsa State Fair, I mean, we're seeing where threats are coming through and everything,
So what Rhonda's referring to is these last couple days, she's worked a booth up there for the Tulsa County.
I did on Sunday. I got back at about midnight on Saturday night, and then I worked the booth for the GOP at the State Fair on Sunday.
And so what's the little project you've got going there?
Well, trouble finds me. I don't have to even go looking for it. It just finds me. And so I was working the booth Sunday evening.
He's
I
bored
know.
With us. Are we boring?
He needs coffee.
Get some caffeine.
So I was working the booth, and I had this young guy and this lady come up and start talking to me and say that they were with a certain organization and they wanted to ask some questions. And so I said, that's fine. I'm not going to speak as a representative of the Tulsa County Republican Party. I'll speak as my own, as my own self. And so he asked me questions, and of course it was, what about children that get separated from their families? And I said, well, you know what? If I did something wrong and I got arrested, they're going to take my children away from me. I'm going to be separated from my children. They're not going to let me bring them to jail with me. And so this is what happens when you break the law. I'm all about legal immigration.
Yeah.
do the right thing. Come in here right. We couldn't go into Mexico.
Nope.
And just move in there. We have to prove that we can take care of ourselves, that we've got an income coming in, that we're going to be in no way a burden to that country.
We don't come in there with a handout.
That's right. And so, and Oklahoma spends about $500 million a year in educating and for medical and other welfare items for illegal immigrants, and I think that that's wrong. So let me get back to this. Yeah. Tulsa County Republican Party, we decided to build a wall and sell the bricks. Okay, so we have a replica of a wall, which is I mean it's just actually it's just 2 pieces of wood covered by black paper, and
it's just fun and hokey.
Cut out the bricks. The red bricks are $5. The bronze are $10. The silver are $50, and the gold are $75.
So what? Are people able to write their names?
Yeah,
on them? Okay.
And so they had things on there like MAGA, IMAGA, Make America Great Again, Women for Kavanaugh.
Oh, cool.
There was one, I Heart Trump, and what was really neat was when I was working, there was a young girl that came in. She was probably about 12 years old. And she asked her parents to buy a bronze, $10 brick. And so she got to write her message. And her message was, thank you, Mr. President, for making our country great. And so, it meant a lot to her. And she took her picture with the cutout of the president. Well, you got some little pansy-ass people that decide that they're going to go in and they're going to start complaining because they're offended.
Oh, it hurts their feelings.
It does. It hurts their feelings.
Mm.
And then I had 2 girls that came into the booth, and they were very aggressive, and I knew right away that they were there to create a scene and to cause problems.
Right.
So I encouraged them to leave I said, let's take this conversation outside of the booth.
No, you went, girl, outside with this.
No,
that's what you did.
I was very nice, Brooke.
You were pushing up your sleeves.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I didn't know.
So I have my Trump 2020 shirt on, and of course, one of them happened to snap a picture of me. That's not very flattering, but that's okay.
So of course it made the rounds.
Not many pictures are very flattering of me, but it is making the rounds in certain communities. Not in my community, but in certain communities, it's making its rounds. So,
but we have moles, and they're telling us.
That's exactly. Well, they're sending them to me. That's right. Exactly right. And so on Monday evening, they made the GOP, the Tulsa County Fair, made the GOP take down the wall.
And what did they tell them? Why?
Because it offended.
Somebody was offended.
Yeah, people were offended. So we went to war yesterday, and we started calling county commissioners, and we started having people calling the state fairgrounds, and we started doing a number of different things. And by about noon, they came back and apologized.
Same lady?
Same
lady apologized?
They said, no, not the same lady.
She wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
She wouldn't.
No, and let me tell you something. If you read Sooner Politics, David Vann did some background research on the person that demanded that the wall came down. That was an employee of Tulsa State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you think she's registered?
I bet she's a commie red dim.
She is, and she's a Democrat, and she's a Democrat activist. Mm-hmm. And so they apologized, and the fair apologized. They asked, they even offered to help put the wall back up.
Oh, how generous! And
so, but in the interim, I decided. Well, not I decided. No, I came up with the suggestion that since they were offended by bricks, that perhaps we should sell snowflakes instead.
I love it. Are there names on that too?
And so, yes, we have names on those.
Dedicated to my snowflake boyfriend,
that's
Frosty.
Right. That's right. So, but now I did find out today, speaking with David McLean, who is a Tulsa County GOP chair, that he, now I forgot, I lost my train of thought. That, damn it.
Are the snowflakes going to remain?
Oh, the snowflakes. Okay. No, we can't. That we can take We can accept donations for it, but these are things that we cannot sell. So on October the 18th, we are going to have a big rally in Tulsa. We're going to bring the wall to the rally, and you're going to be able to purchase some snowflakes and some bricks, and
so cool.
We're going to build that wall, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. Them making us remove it was a violation of our First Amendment rights.
Well, and just pansy.
It is.
Just
it
total
is.
Baby.
And so there is a great David McLean. I did an interview with him yesterday. However, the information is now no longer current. But if you go to 1170kfaq.com and go to Pat Campbell's podcast, you can listen to him. He and I on the radio this morning talking about the issues and what we plan on doing about it. You know, the funny thing, and this is one of the things David said, was initially the bricks weren't really selling all that great. I mean, they weren't doing that well. So I'd like to say thank you to the equality people, and thank you to the Democratic Party for making such a ruckus of this, because you have helped our fundraising efforts immensely.
And what does fundraising mean for the party? Let's tell them.
Fun.
I know, but where's that money go?
It goes to the state party, and it will support our down ballot candidates, especially candidates that support our president's agenda, which include building a wall.
Amen. Amen to that.
I will let you know that, you know, we do have some people that look out for us on Facebook and send us information. So yesterday we received this, it was last night. It says, I'm reading a lot of the same old liberal tactics being planned on Facebook now that they are aware that the wall is back. The Tulsa State Fair even tried smoothing it over on their Facebook page. This seemed to only let more people know about it, since a lot of people follow them during the fair trying to win prizes or hear about what's going on. The ones opposed to this booth being there are planning on trying to create a scene if they can and get the GOP running the booth to do or say something they can capture on video or audio to use against us. Best I can tell, it's not an organized movement with an official name for this to occur. They are just getting whomever they can stirred up and encouraging them to go by the booth and try to make it so much of a problem the Tulsa State Fair will be forced to remove it. So
no shock.
Yeah. So
no
these
shock.
are the things that they're trying to do. They're trying to shut us down, trying to get us to say things that we shouldn't and everything. And then one of our local activists in Tulsa, Mark Lewis, who is part of the Tulsa Democratic Party, as well as a Black Lives Matter activist.
Yeah.
On his Facebook, he's calling for a Tulsa State Fair boycott. Hashtag no racist wall.
Oh
and I'm like,
wow.
What?
Yeah. That means go to the fair.
A racist wall?
Yeah.
So if you're at the Tulsa State Fair, go on the east side of the building against the wall. We're about the second or third booth down. Come on in. Come say hi. Come make a donation for a brick or a snowflake. Listen,
support the
we have
Republicans.
to push back.
Yeah.
We have got to push back. If we allow these things to continue going the way that they do and let them just walk all over us and say whatever they want and make these crazy demands, then we have to. That's right. Yeah. We have got to push back. So
we've got to fight back. We've got to bloody.
We did.
Noses personally, but emphatically.
You got to rough them up a little bit.
Symbolically. So we're going to take a real quick break. But when we come back, I want to talk quickly about FISA.
You bet.
D-class. But here's a break, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Do you have problems with pain, anxiety, or sleeplessness? Come see us at Can Help Wellness, where we can help. Stop by any of our 4 wellness centers to find out how premium CBD products can help you find relief. From balms to tinctures to even products for your pets. Natural, safe, organic relief and lab tested with certifications. Reach out to one of our wellness consultants today at 405-455-3012 or online at cann-help.com.
Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the troublemaking, irresponsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is
All right, so this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Yes. To our democracy.
So that's why the presidential test alert was so important, we think.
Yeah,
today.
I think you called me first.
And I know. When I see him next time, I'm gonna be like, "What up? Why, Ronda, your favorite?"
I know.
So the FISA documents. This came out a couple weeks ago. Remember when President Trump said it's time to declass the FISA documents? And a real quick synopsis of what that means. The FISA is the Foreign Investigative Service Agreement.
Something like that.
Anyway, it's the court.
It's secret stuff.
It's secret stuff. It's secret stuff that James Comey and Rod Rosenstein and Andy McCabe and all those, Sally Yates, all those folks laid out before a court who gets to say whether or not the presidential election of Donald Trump, the campaign, of Donald Trump, could be spied upon by Americans, our own people, our CIA and our FBI and other agencies. So all of these documents are about to be released. Now, we believe that once this occurs, there's going to be some crazy shakeups, meaning Mr. Rosenstein is going to go away. The Mueller Russian probe is going to go away. But here's my question when I got to speak with Representative, my favorite, well, I know. How many favorites do we have?
We have a lot of favorites.
One of my favorite, this is probably my favorite Texas congressman. Oh, I love Representative Louis Gohmert. About the FISA. I'm here with Congressman from Texas, District 1, right?
That's it.
Louis Gohmert. Mr. Gohmert, could you tell us, are you supporting, first of all, are you supporting Jim Jordan for Speaker? Obviously, you're here.
You bet.
And then, where are you hearing where things are with the FISA, the declass of the FISA docs?
Well,
they look like they've been put on hold.
I was with the President of the Oval Office 2 weeks ago. I was encouraging him to declassify. He wanted to declassify, but he actually still asked some people around and said, well, we need to go slow on this. Go slow, my foot.
Right. Years ago.
I have intelligence friends that say there's no reason not to declassify.
Okay.
It would only take an hour to make sure it's reviewed.
Right.
We're not talking about sources and methods, really.
No.
The reason that they have continued to object to declassification is just like we've seen for the last year or two. They don't want things being revealed that make them look bad.
Right.
Well,
so people are irritated and they're ready for arrests. So is that? Do you foresee that in the next?
The president is in a terrible situation. he still has some deep state people around him. Jeff Sessions has lots of deep state people like Rosenstein, who apparently has been engaged in an effort to have a coup to take down a duly elected president. So anyway, he needs to go. Hopefully he'll either come to Congress and testify within the next few days, or he'll resign, one or the other. But he needs to give answers, or he needs to voluntarily resign.
We want to thank you from Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite for your continued fight up here. We love you.
Thank you so
much. Appreciate
and
you.
Thank God for Oklahoma.
Thank God for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I got to spend a little bit of time with him when I was in Cleveland for the Republican National Convention.
Yeah.
And he was attending the thank you that Ted Cruz put on for a lot of his supporters. Mm-hmm. And we were hanging out there, and I said, Louis, you think you might come to Oklahoma? He says, I'll come to Oklahoma anytime you ask. You just let me know. And, of course, that Bridenstine he's like, I want to come and tell the people how wonderful Jim Bridenstine is.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Jim told us a very touching story regarding Louis Gohmert and himself and then the members of the Freedom Caucus. Yeah. It was an amazing trip.
It was a great trip.
And getting to see all the well, not necessarily all of our rock stars, but we got to see quite a few of them.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Running into them at the train was cool, too. That was pretty neat. I had never done that before. So these FISA documents, though, looks like they're going to be coming out. Right now, currently, it looks like Jeff Sessions has been subpoenaed by the Judiciary Committee to come before the committee for information that they've been waiting for, and he's been holding on to. So once I think that's part of all of this. I know, it's all part of this. We're just getting wound up, baby.
The game.
We're just getting wound up because once the dominoes start to fall,
get your adult beverage and your blood pressure meds because
I'm just sitting there eating popcorn.
Oh, I know. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be so much fun.
It really is. And you know what's going to be really neat is when, let's say a month from now, we look back and we go, holy cow.
I know.
I thought it was going to go one way, but it did that,
I know.
So, because, guys, we're 1 month away from elections.
That's right. So if you're interested in helping somebody like Stitt or Pinnell or Hunter or Cindy Bird or anybody, you can get in touch with their campaign and they would love to plug you in because this is the election of our lifetime. Make no mistake, same for Steve Russell and Kevin Hearn and all the congressmen. Even though you're not your favorites and you might sometimes consider them a rhino, we saw a rhino up there a couple times, which we're happy that he's coming back and we want him to stay in as his seat, but we're going to always support the Republican over the Democrat, especially this time around when we're talking those Democrats, all they want to do is obstruct, destroy, and impeach Donald Trump.
That's exactly right, and that's their plan.
That's their whole agenda.
Nancy Pelosi has clearly stated that if they get back over, even if Kavanaugh is seated on the Supreme Court, they'll go after him to impeach him.
Yeah.
I have never seen, nor did I ever imagine that I would see our country in the state that it's in right now, because it's really a sad day when you consider where we were even just 10 years ago. It's amazing what a difference a decade can make.
Totally. Are you red pilling your friends and family? Are you red pilling them? Are you teaching them about this Q phenomenon? Are you telling them that they have to vote Republican to save the nation? The deep state is after us. We've got to save the country.
Yeah, listen, we're not saying that the Republicans are the be-all, end-all of, us.
We don't say that.
No, because it's not true. And it's especially not true when you consider the number of people that changed, political affiliations and chose to run accordingly. And what I'm talking about is the Democrats that changed their voter registration Republicans so that they could run as a Republican, because Oklahoma is supposed to be this big red state, you know.
It's a farce.
And so, but you know, when the party doesn't stand for anything, and when the party doesn't hold their elected officials accountable,
when the party doesn't pass a platform,
no, exactly. Then we deserve. We're getting the government we deserve.
Right.
That's
Which
for
brings
sure.
me back around to this. We have 840,000 registered Republicans in the state of Oklahoma. We should be winning by a landslide.
Yep.
And then in our last conference or convention, what was it, 2016? 17? It's every 2 years. Yeah, 2017. We had 834 delegates, Rhonda.
Right.
So if you are not satisfied with this, contact your precinct, your phone today. Contact your precinct, contact your county. Become a county delegate, become a precinct organizer, become a state delegate, come to the convention, make your voice heard. Conservatives have to get back into the game. I know we're worn out, we're exhausted, and we're like, okay, we'll just let this ride for a little while. Let me tell you something. Next session, we're going to see things, and our minds are going to be blown that that's what's happening in Oklahoma. We're going to freak out that Republicans running our session are only adding more taxes to you. They're not going to repeal that last $500 million taxation. No. They're going to add more taxes to you, and they're going to come after your capital gains, your income tax, another dollar on cigarettes.
They want to tax services.
Tax services.
So do you want your haircut to cost 10% more? I mean, I know I don't. This is going to affect Oklahomans greatly, and we don't need it.
Yeah. So please.
And they're still not calling for reforms or audits. No. That's what just is so mind-blowing to me.
That's why Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite is an important organization. We need your involvement. We'd love for you to join, to subscribe to our newsletter or come to our Facebook page and get engaged. Yeah, there's some trolls on there. Sometimes we got to, whatever. But that's going to be the case, whatever.
Free speech. If you want to make an ass out of yourself, you just go right ahead.
That's right. Usually you have your picture and your name there so we all can see you. But let's wrap this up real quickly. Okay. But I'd like to show off some of the fun pictures while we were running around
D.C.
Yes, running around D.C. with Rhonda was the best.
We had a really good time. That's at the White House. I mean, not the White House. That's at the Capitol, and that's the statue of Will Rogers. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Karen Schnitt Karen Schnitt, I think Schnitt's her last name. It was a phenomenal tour guide in the state, in the U.S. Capitol. She gave us history. We got to go places that we maybe shouldn't have gone, but we got to go anyway. We made friends with police officers along the way. This is the Trump International Hotel. Brooke had already left by that time. We went in and had coffee and dessert.
Yeah, for $500.
Pretty much. And it's funny. Listen, I paid $19 for a Bailey's and coffee, and they had the dessert buffet that you could get for $29.
Lord.
But so I came back and I was talking to my daughter, one of my daughters, and we were talking. I was telling her, I said, President Trump doesn't take a salary, and she says, well, at $19 for a Bailey's and coffee, I guess he doesn't have to. So
that's hilarious. You know what? The Republicans or the Democrats talk about that nonstop, that he's getting emollients from his hotels internationally, which is part of the reason they think that they can impeach him. But it's nuts. It's fake news. Don't buy it. There we are with our senator, James Langford, who was very clear that day when we asked, are you going to support Judge Kavanaugh? 100%.
Oh, yes.
100%.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It had been circulating that he wasn't,
That's
so people
right.
were contacting us and texting us. Please be sure to find out if he said that was nothing but fake news. So that was a lot of fun.
That Kavanaugh had spent an hour in his office, and after that
Private
hour, it answered
meeting.
all the questions he had.
Yep.
So thank you, James, for standing up for what's right and for supporting Kavanaugh.
Here we are at the rally. We were rallying for Jim Jordan as Speaker and also for Judge Kavanaugh, Women for Kavanaugh. This was a lot of fun that day. We got to
There was about 2,000 people there is what they're estimating, and it was awesome. I think you ran into some old friends.
I did. I got to see some friends from North Carolina and from Georgia. It was great.
It really
awesome.
was. It was neat. It was a very neat day.
Here we are with Mark Wayne Mullen, Congressman Mullen from District 2, Oklahoma. Hanging out with him, asking him to support Jim Jordan. He says no.
No. Who's tight friends? Well, this is also
this is us at the Capitol.
At the Capitol before we're getting ready to go lobby
for the rally. Yeah,
right.
We're wearing our stickers and our hats. Oh, this was
in the
fun.
White House. I know. We had such a good time in the White House. We almost got to watch the president land.
Well, we did. I saw it.
I know, but
you didn't
we could have seen it from the inside the house and could have had, up close, but we were a little bit too quick getting through
the tour,
But that was a really neat tour.
Aww,
there we go. That's at the Capitol. That's
right.
Liberty behind us. Mm-hmm. I know you don't recognize it because she seems to have changed quite a bit since the last time we saw her. That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
Any other pictures?
That's about it.
Is that all I got?
We have like 6,000.
I know we've got more.
We won't bore you with that.
Probably put some more on there.
They were a good 10.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So you guys keep watch. Kavanaugh is going to be confirmed by the end of the week. I suspect that Dr. Blasey Ford is going to probably be dealing with her own issues with being, bringing forth these charges erroneously, as well as Julia Swetnick, as well as Deborah Ramirez. So far, there are 3 names. There was a fourth person.
There were 5. I thought there were 5 accusers.
Well, probably. I know about the gentleman from Rhode Island who actually the FBI is investigating, and Chuck Grassley said he wanted charges brought. I think.
Right. If you make false statements.
If you're making a false statement, so
listen. I'm excited. That Kavanaugh's gonna be on the bench. Hopefully, this is enough to get people, out there and vote so that when Ruth Bader Ginsburg either retires or, falls asleep forever, that we can. I'm sorry. Not really,
listen,
but.
Amy Barrett, what's her name? Amy Barrett something. She's on deck. She's on deck. And listen.
Oh, that's the lady with all the kids.
Yeah,
and stuff,
she's
right?
Catholic.
Yeah.
All these kids. She's got a ton of kids. She's going to be on deck for when it's time for the next one. So.
You know what was funny? Glenn Beck says, "Look, if he doesn't make it through, they need to. Then Trump needs to immediately announce that he's going to nominate Mike Lee, because then they all know him. He's on the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
He's gone through the background checks.
Yeah. That'd be a great idea.
They know him, so I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about our show on Friday because we're going to do something a little bit different.
Right.
New format. We're going to try a new format. We're going to try a split screen. That way, I can stay in Tulsa and Brooke can be here. We're also going to we're supposed to have a guest come in here shortly for us to video an interview of her. I know I couldn't think what it was. But,
so that'll be played on Friday.
Right, and it'll be played on Friday, and I promise you.
You want to see it.
You're going to want to see it.
Yeah.
If she shows up.
She'll show up.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully so. So we're going to sign off now, guys. This has been so much fun.
It has been. It's great to be back.
Yes.
And
we missed you last week.
We appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for sharing our videos. Thank you for helping us out financially. Please feel free to help us out any way you can because Lord knows she needs help.
So do the Republicans.
Yes,
Go
they
vote.
do.
Make sure you help some candidates.
Yeah, we got
contact the campaign right now.
3 weeks, guys. I think we got 3 or 4 weeks, something like that.
Less than 5.
It's time. Get busy. We got people to get elected. We got a state to save. Take care.